tone. From the land of the maple where the cold winds are blown. Punjabi roots with a Canadian tone. We built this life now, the stories are our throne. From buttered chicken plates to poutine on the side. Mixing cultures like beats, man, it's how we collide. Old school wisdom with the new school vibe. Brown dads on the mic, watch the worlds collide. Three brown dads and we keeping it real. With laughs and some lessons in the cultural feel. Grab a chair, take a seat, let's break the seal. This is the podcast you never knew you need to heal.
Do you remember A1 Video? It was in Minchow.
Yeah, you know, it's by that Max, right?
I think so. Yeah.
I think I recall it, but it's not like a big part of my childhood memory type of thing, you know?
I used to go there quite a bit. I remember renting Candyman, Mrs. Doubtfire, video games, Double Dragon, I rented from there. But they would rent out wrestling pay-per-views the day after they aired on Sunday.
Yeah.
Back in the day, you had to pay, what, $24.99 for a wrestling pay-per-view, and they would just rent them out the next day.
That's pretty dope that they had it ready to go the next day.
Yeah. My dad figured that out. I didn't know. He rented King of the Ring 94 for me from A1 Video.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. I think, you know, if I knew somebody was renting it out the next day, I'd like a brown kid who didn't have like all those, the parents didn't care to get him pay-per-view and stuff. You're just kind of like, oh, I could just watch it tomorrow. And if tomorrow was like a weekend, then the kids wouldn't spoil it at school and stuff.
Yeah, that is
know
true.
what I mean?
Did your parents ever get you a wrestling pay-per-view?
Not like on TV, no.
My dad got me Survivor Series 92. Main event was Bret Hart against Shawn Michaels. And I remember when he was setting the box up.
Yeah.
And he's like, but this was really expensive. Let's try not to do it again. I'm like, okay.
That's funny. By the way, everybody, you're listening to Three Brown Dads. And anyways, we're just doing the thing, man. This is our 10th episode. So we made it this far. And 10's not too bad, eh?
Yeah.
For a little bit of time.
10 episodes.
Yeah.
How many listeners do we have?
I don't know, 8 or 12.
8 or 12. I don't even know if my wife is listening. She listened to that last episode, the one about the fudus, and I think she was smirking because she knew who I was talking about.
That's a little bit of inside, you know, knowledge. It's a very local type. It's got some local lore in it. Does that make sense?
It does, yeah. And we're not trying to denigrate anyone publicly. We're not mentioning names.
No, this isn't about people and, you know, making fun of people and saying names. This is just our memories. And this is the experiences we've had because we're three brown dads.
Yeah. And if you have bad memories about me, you can start your own podcast and talk about it.
Or even better, drop them in the comments section. Yeah. You know, it felt way more natural to do that now than it did earlier on. So that means 10 episodes in, I think.
Comments on what? Instagram or?
Yo, they could, I mean, right now, a lot of people actually listen to us on YouTube.
Okay.
Yeah. And so there's a comment section right underneath. We're on YouTube,
We
bro.
are.
Well, that easy.
Pavan never listens back to the old episodes.
You're like one of those actors who never watches their stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Woody Allen never watches his movies.
Yo, I just want to know about one movie. Did Brad Pitt ever get to watch Fight Club? That's the only one I would really want him to watch himself in. I don't know.
You just love his performance?
I just think he did such a, I mean, he's done a lot of good roles.
Tyler Durden.
Yeah, but I feel like that one's quite interesting because it's like, he's a little, for the time period, I mean, I wasn't a huge Brad Pitt fan, so I could be wrong. But for when that movie came out, even though we're not supposed to be talking about that movie, that's the first rule, is that I think for him to have such a weird type of character that was he an antagonist? Technically, right? And, you know, I don't think Brad Pitt usually did antagonistic roles. He wasn't really an antagonist, but he kind of was.
You've never seen California? He's a serial killer in it.
No, I didn't see, I haven't seen that one. So there you go. See, like, you guys know, you can bash me for missing out there's a cluster of movies I've missed out on. So.
No, I'm not going to bash you. I'm not like that guy. Oh, you didn't see that movie? What's wrong with you?
No, but Pavan might do that. Yeah.
No, we all have blind spots. California was not a big deal. I haven't seen Revenge of the Sith, and I probably won't.
The Sith get revenge.
The Sith get, are you Yoda? Is that a Yoda thing?
No.
Mainu nahi pata yaar. Force bakwas.
You didn't watch much Star Wars, eh?
I've seen the first three.
Okay.
So,
the originals, the OGs.
Yeah, the originals. So like 4, 5, and 6.
So Darth Vader is a Sith. And his master, right?
Yeah.
The Emperor, he's a Sith. He's like the Sith Lord. So so Revenge of the Sith is like when they kind of got some redemption for themselves. But anyways, that's all it is literally that. So,
and is this the one where Anakin makes the turn?
Something like that, yeah.
I don't mind Empire Strikes Back.
Empire Strikes Back, you know, as a kid, when you
No, wait. Empire Strikes Back is good. Return of the Jedi is the third one.
Yeah.
Empire Strikes Back.
New
I like
Hope
that one.
is the first one.
It's got that dark ending.
I like Empire Strikes Back the best. like just as a story, because it's not what you expect. Like, yay, the good guy won. Yeah, it's not like that. And as a kid, younger version of me, Return of the Jedi was the best. It wasn't because the Jedi. It was because the Ewoks.
Yeah.
The little cute.
I just call them Muppets. I don't even remember what they're called. Yeah, they're basically Muppets.
Basically.
Was Jim Henson working on that movie?
I don't know. It's a good question to ask. We'll find out.
Great music though. John Williams, man. That, Jurassic Park, Indiana Jones, Jaws, E.T.
You know what? Let's not even look it up. Please, listeners, drop it in the comments and enlighten us.
We watched Star Wars for the first time. The first time I saw it was in grade 5, Mr. McQuay's class. He showed it to us because he was a big Star Wars guy. And Harrison Ford's in the movie, Han Solo, but I don't pick up on that.
Mr. McQuay, I know who he is.
He was a grade 5 teacher.
And he showed Star Wars in class?
He did. And I didn't recognize Harrison Ford, even though I grew up on Temple of Doom, Last Crusade. I used to have a Last Crusade poster in my old house in Manissa.
Yeah.
So I didn't recognize him because it was a different context. And I wasn't paying attention because I hated the movie. And then somebody's like, Harrison Ford was in it. I'm like, Harrison Ford was in it? Who was he?
Yeah.
And someone told me it was Chewbacca. And they're like, Harrison Ford was Chewbacca? Yeah, they made me look like a moron in that class, man. Yeah.
Do it again.
Do you remember the end of Step Brothers on the boat? Clearing their throat.
But yeah, okay.
Like
so
Daisy's brushing their teeth every day. Like,
no. Daisies don't brush. They bursh.
They're bursh.
Borshkita.
Yeah. It always sounds like some Arab saying Ahmed, right? That's how they always sound. Yeah.
Ahmed. Yeah. But yeah, so I mean, a little bit of banter to start the episode. But Ramneek, we kind of have a little bit of a surprise for you. We're actually going to interview you today.
What?
Yeah, about your butter chicken odyssey.
I thought you were going to say that you're going to ambush me because of all the shit that I talked last episode and that guy's waiting outside.
No.
I'm like, whatever. I got my belt just like his dad.
No, man. You know what it is? We wanted to... That would be hilarious if he was here, but I would never do that because... You know the term I got for that guy. But anyways, for both those guys, because
when was this decision made?
I was actually thinking about it this morning, and I was like, you know what? This is our 10th episode. You have an anniversary coming up tomorrow, 24.
Things ended a bit early that day, and then we went to Taco Bell and got cheese fries. I didn't pay for them.
Did you get a cheesy gordita crunch though?
No. My palate was limited at that time. It was just soft shell beef tacos and cheesy fries.
Soft shell, eh?
And soft shell and Mountain Dew Code Red.
Man, for 24 years ago, that's a pretty solid overall experience, and that's a good little cap at the end, I think. Was it a Tuesday?
No, it was a Thursday. It was Mr. Luchko's Thursday double block of math 20.
Damn. You got that day down in memory. I'm glad you're celebrating 24 years.
24 years.
Yeah. Anyways, so you went on this odyssey recently, and you've been interviewed by everybody. I was like, I got to interview him, and then I told Pavan, I was like, we're gonna interview him today, and Pavan was like, let's do it. It's not really an interview because it's our podcast, so it's yours too. But
I've never been interviewed where someone's like, we're about to host a podcast, then all of a sudden they're like, we're going to interview you.
Yeah. Well, let's just say it this way. We're just going to talk about it with you.
Okay.
It's not really an interview. I just wanted to kind of put a spotlight on you for a minute and make you feel it.
Okay.
Then
I appreciate it.
No,
I'm going to feel it.
Okay. So obviously, you do the food reviews. That's kind of a known thing, but the Odyssey, I just want to kind of know, and I think Pavan's also curious, like what. Because like when you come up with the ideas to do the cool food review type of things that you're doing, what kind of gave you the idea to do a butter chicken odyssey? What was the sort of spark to me?
Well, my kiddo wasn't really speaking Punjabi, right? And it was my fault because I was speaking English. I think in English, and I speak in English with my wife. And I felt that we were drifting away from it. And I felt that one of the easiest ways to get back into the culture was through the food. And I'm probably the only Indian food writer in Edmonton. If I'm not the only Indian one, I'm definitely the only Punjabi one. So why not focus on my own food rather than talk about burgers and poutine and tacos and all that shit?
Yeah.
So that was what sparked it.
Yeah. But do you, I know you think in English, speak in English. Do you argue in English though? Because I know you a little bit.
No, sometimes a teri band comes out.
See, the arguing part, it shows that.
No.
So that's where you drew.
There's more venom in the swears in Punjabi. Also, I wanted to reclaim the dish because butter chicken has been perverted by the West.
Yeah, 100%. I agree.
Where it's supposed to be bone-in tandoori chicken, right?
Yeah,
Legs and thighs, and they tend to eat chicken breast and Campbell's tomato soup.
Pretty much.
And it tastes just like Campbell's tomato soup.
Because they use that as a base. It is technically a Western dish. However, I'll let you say the rest.
They say that it was invented in England or whatever, but it was actually popularized in Delhi at Moti Mahal by two Punjabi guys. That's the other thing I wanted to reclaim, that it's a Punjabi dish.
Yeah.
Right? Two Punjabi guys made it. Their name was Gurnanlal Jaggi and Gujral. So I wanted to reclaim it from the Western world and also reclaim it from the rest of India as a Punjabi dish.
So where does the myth come that it's made in the West? I think I know, but I want to hear from you.
Where does the myth come? Oh, chicken tikka masala is a Western dish. So people mistake that for butter chicken because that was invented, I think, in like Scotland or something like that. Yeah, in Glasgow, where Tiger Style is from.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh man, I miss Tiger Style.
So do I. Is it just domesticity? Is it just family life?
It's family life.
Okay, all right.
But that's another episode.
But like back in the day, Versa extended play, American Jugni,
But
Mystics, Martyrs, and Maharajas.
Well, there are a couple of guys who didn't eat butter chicken because they were baptized Sikhs. But going back to the butter chicken, so like so that kind of got you started, but then like how did it actually turn into a thing? Like you now you have this odyssey, and you did how many 50 what?
51.
51. So you just, you did that desi thing. We're like, I'm not going to give you $100. I'm going to give you 101. So yeah.
The last one was because the restaurant owner invited me to his grocery store.
Yeah.
So it's in front of J. Percy Page Cameosic Shopping Center.
Yeah.
And in the back, there's like this hidden kitchen. And he wanted me to review the butter chicken there. So I did. And it was amazing. But that was 51. And initially it was just 50.
Yeah.
I just felt like it was a nice arbitrary number.
I was with you for one of them. And so I got to kind of see you behind the sceens.
In England?
In England, yeah. So if anybody wondered who that friend of yours was at Veeraswamy, the Billy's out of the bag. But
the guy that told me to label them as Lilaswamy in the review.
You wanted to get my royalty check. But no, for real. So yeah, I got to see a little bit. I mean, I'm sure a lot of people have seen it. But it was cool to see it overseas, like international version. But like we did 2 international butter chicken reviews, and I was there for pretty much 2 of them. And
Do you have a Kleenex here?
Yeah, they're both behind Pavan.
Pavan, will you pass me one?
Specifically for there's a good reason they're behind Pavan.
Because we did one in
He
in
cries a lot.
Southall, and we did one in was it Piccadilly Circus?
We did one close to Piccadilly Circus, which was Veeraswamy.
Yeah.
And then, Southall was the second one. I forgot what was it again? Haveli, that's it.
Where the guy asked me for spice level and I said Bonaparte.
Yeah.
And I'm like, "ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ Punjabi ਆਉਂਦੀ ਹੈ?" And he's like, "Hanji, main Lahore to haan," right?
And then we became buddies on the Punjabi element. But then when he said that, the guy was like, his face went all red, man. He was just...
But he was trying to hold in his
Yeah,
laughter.
he wanted to laugh. He was like the stereotypical like Punjabis that they laugh at stupid stuff like that.
Yeah.
That's the thing that connects us, man.
That's the one place Pat could eat at. I really appreciated that they were so accommodating.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the review started pretty much because to kind of connect back with the roots. A little bit for your daughter.
Yeah.
A little bit for... So it kind of was an ode to your daughter in a sense too.
It was. And I was in this... this show called Eating Edmonton. It was just a tribute to the local food scene. This guy that went to Saka with us, Salvador Garcia.
Yeah,
he's a food
I met him
too.
at one of the events that you were at.
Okay, and he wanted me to act in this, and I played a guy that hated butter chicken. So just thinking about that gave me the idea. I'm like, why do I hate butter chicken? Because it's been perverted and Desis hate it.
Yeah.
A lot of Desis hate butter chicken. And I wanted to talk about that. And I do feel that because of this odyssey, a lot of Indian restaurants have now introduced bone-in butter chicken. Like if you go to Zyka, Dudley Tuesday butter chicken is bone-in. You can order bone-in at Mazebaum. We called it the Millwoods Murg Makhani Massacre. Yeah. A nice tribute to Texas Chainsaw Massacre, Millwoods, and Murg Makhani is the actual name.
And also a little bit of Bali Sagu if you'll connect it.
Oh, wham, bam, the second massacre.
The second massacre, yeah. It's always a cool thing to see in a title. But, okay. So it now became an odyssey. You reviewed a few restaurants, some, I'll let people read the reviews because you can go back and read them on your social media. But some of the reviews were a little, lackluster, not not the reading part, but the probably what you were tasting part. The reading is always not lackluster. It's really good.
I think that happened later. Initially, I do feel that the reviews were lackluster, but then I was inspired by the whole speech from Connor McDavid when they lost to Florida, I think 2 or 3 games in a row, the first series.
Yeah.
And he's like, you got to dig the F in, whatever the F you have. That's not good enough. So then I'm like, okay, there's so many ways you can talk about butter chicken, the fenugreek, the tomato, the cream. Let's talk about other things. So I started talking about growing up in Mill Woods, like the Saka memories, the Manissa memories, and even like the drive-by shootings, everything that made our childhood.
It's almost a memoir, your Butter Chicken Odyssey.
It did. It turned into like a coming of age memoir and also like a midlife reckoning as well.
Yeah. But, you know, again, as Pavan said, like, you guys remember like mid 80s, like Big Daddy Kane type of rappers, when they rapped, Ice Cube rapped in the early days, you were visualizing what they were saying. And, you know, you're seeing what they're saying, and it's very clever, and you're excited to hear it. It's a vibe. And so I think when we read your reviews, I'm just saying this from my own perspective, I think Pavan will agree with me, because I think we talked about it once when we were walking to get Slurpees, so our walk was kind of useless. But anyways, we're talking about how, like, when we read your reviews, we're seeing what you're seeing.
Jeez, man, that's a huge compliment. Those guys are giants. Kane and Cube, I grew up on them, man. Kane, like, if you are what you eat, then feed me. Dope.
Yeah.
Right? I love Kane.
Even Ludacris, the way he raps.
So talented, underrated, man.
But
huge star, but people need to talk about him as a lyricist, because that guy could spit.
100%. And yeah,
not like Luda though. Luda was just so funny too.
The comparison is more because you're visualizing what those artists are rapping or singing about, right? And when we're reading your reviews, I think personally, I'm visualizing, and then the connection is, Pavan, that we're growing up in the same place as you, so we see what you saw, and we also saw what you saw when you saw it in a different time, if you know what I mean.
You know the realtor, Jeet Germana?
Mm-hmm.
Well, Jeet Germana, he's a family friend. And his daughter, Inderjeet, we were in Victoria, and we were there for a DJ Premier gig, right? DJ Premier, my favorite hip hop producer. And we went to this restaurant, I think it was called like C Note or something. And I guess Inderjeet was living there above the restaurant, working there above the restaurant. She reached out to me. So this is in Victoria. So we connected and we went out to eat. I also bought her a ticket for the gig. But before the gig, we went out to eat, and she saw that I was taking photos of the food, and she started encouraging me to write about food. Write food reviews. At the time, she said that you're young, you know how to write, you should do this. And I thought it was a silly idea. She was just very supportive. She was supportive. She just believed in me, right? And at that time, I was young. I'm not young anymore, but she said that you could actually pull it off. So after coming from Victoria, coming back home, I ended up losing my job. So I had some time on my hands. So I started this food thing on Instagram and Facebook, and it started to carry momentum. And then I had this falling out with my cousin in Vancouver, who I'm not close with, Surrey. I just joking, it was hyperbole. I referred to a certain vegetarian Indian dish as scraps from the field. It was just a joke. And she's like, oh, our ancestral food isn't this. I've eaten in Alamgir, that's my mom's bairn, and our food wasn't scraps from the field, right? And I'm like, you know what? Your opinion doesn't really matter to me. I don't care about you. You're expendable. And I blocked her. And then I started thinking about just the food reviews and like this backlash that I was getting. And I asked people, I'm like, hey, I'm thinking of starting this separate page, this food review page on Facebook. Would you benefit from this? And the response, it was overwhelmingly positive. So I started the page.
So guys, I'm just jumping back here and we had a weird tech issue, so we're back recording now. And anyways, I'm a little choked that happened because Pavan had some really good points and questions in there.
We used to have this at CJSR, man. I'd be hosting a show and I was so happy with it. And then when I'd listen to it back, you couldn't even hear me. All of a sudden, it's like 3 seconds of silence and Skang's dunya matlab nahi.
Yeah, you know what happened?
This is CJSR.
Right before we started recording today, I did a software update on the thing because there was like a firmware update available. They probably remapped the channels. Anyways, it's whatever. People will know what I'm talking about. But Pavan, we just want to hear your voice right now.
Testing 1, 2, 3.
Barry White.
There you go.
Barry White.
Just say, hey guys.
Hey guys.
I'm here now.
I am here now. I have come back.
Okay. You have to delay the back though.
Anyways, okay, we're all good. Ramneek, we were talking.
I'm off my game, man. I don't even know what we're talking about. What were we talking about?
Okay, I'll bring you back. I'll reel you in.
The falling out with a cousin.
So we were talking about Ramneek's story, his sort of like origin story as a food reviewer.
It's a superhero origin story.
Yeah, and you asked him some dope questions, which I'll try to figure out, but let's just flow back in now. And Ramneek, you were talking about how, you had a little falling out with your cousin, which will still be there that people just heard it. No, but then I interrupted this. But anyways, we're going to
Yeah, she overstepped her boundaries. Like, we're not even close. Let me do my thing. I'm much older than you.
Yeah.
If you have an issue with it, you message me privately, you bayuckle, right? You don't send me a message publicly.
Yeah.
But I didn't go to her
Facebook?
wedding. Yeah, I didn't go to her wedding. I don't speak to her, and I'm not going to go to her brother's wedding either.
Damn. Well, it's almost like a villain origin story.
Maybe I'm a villain to them, but it's like Bret Hart. He's a villain to America, but he was a hero in Canada,
Bro,
right?
yeah,
Like, who cares
100%.
about these people? Man, they're so narcissistic. The only thing they ever want to talk about, I'm giving an interview on myself here, but this was not my idea.
No,
This
it
was
wasn't.
not. The only thing that family wants to talk about is themselves, and I hate people like that.
Well, we want to talk about you, so you're going to be talking about yourself. But you know what? It's good to know the origin story, right? Because I think you've been interviewed by a lot of different people, a lot of big media outlets here in the city. But I know people were talking about your reviews and stuff.
Yeah.
And why you do it. But I didn't hear, maybe they did, right? But I didn't really hear your origin story. But also, like, as we mentioned earlier, like we both got to see a little bit behind the scenes in some events, Zyka and in England with you. But
At Veeraswamy, that was the only time I've ever been unkind to a server.
Why? What happened?
He was rude to Pat.
He was
Rude to Pat. He wasn't accommodating.
Pat, did you take out the card?
you know what I did? I did.
He could have been polite about it.
Yeah,
I don't think
yeah.
they made the effort, and I think they thought that they could get away with it because they were Michelin starred. Like, man, the hell with your Michelin star?
You went to a Michelin star?
And
did,
that's
yeah. Really?
and so when we were planning the trip, Ramneek was like, there's this Michelin star restaurant. I've never been to a Michelin. Is that what you said?
Yeah.
Something like that. I've never been to a Michelin star restaurant. And it's a Desi restaurant. And apparently, like, all the greats have eaten here.
Yeah,
Like,
Jawahar Nehru ate there.
yeah. And so, I don't know if, anyways.
Well, he's great to some, right?
I didn't-
no,
I
I'm just
didn't-
saying, he's the first prime minister of India. He ate there.
Yeah.
I didn't read the review.
It was like over 100 years old, and this guy, he was just so pompous, and the food was shit.
Maybe that's why they got a
It was like
Michelin
$60, and it was shit.
star. It was shit?
Yeah, and I just didn't like. I have an issue. If you're rude to my friend, I don't like you. That's just the way it is. And I thought they were rude to Pat. Pat, did you feel that he was rude?
I have a little bit thicker skin when it comes to my allergies and situations. But he definitely wasn't kind about it or
he
nice
wasn't.
about it. Like he was, and you know me, like you guys know me, like not maybe all the listeners, but I can go with the flow. I'm pretty like, okay, cool. If somebody can't serve me, they can't serve me. We had a few other experiences too.
Haveli accommodated you.
Yeah, but you remember that taco place? They're like, we can't do anything. And they're like, we can't. And I wasn't mad about it, but they were just being honest. But she was like, I'm so sorry.
Yeah, this guy did not say I'm so sorry.
He's like, no, it's better just to not serve you at anything and take the risk.
That's why I like Zyka. Zyka is amazing for that.
they
like-
accommodate Pat.
They
the
accommodate.
goat.
Oh,
they
they-
accommodated me too.
Yeah.
Their service is second to none.
Yeah.
Gary and Ushu, man, nice people.
100%, man.
Yeah.
Known them forever, but just as business people, let alone the what's the word, man? Just because we know them, it won't change my sort of opinion on them as what's the right word? Restaurateurs, or you know what I mean?
Restaurateur.
Yeah. Restaurateurs. But
Restaurateur.
so that's kind of how you started your review series, and so you started reviewing what type of food originally?
Well, were you always interested in food? Did you always have an interest in food? And
Did you
food
like to eat?
service And
I like to eat.
You like to eat?
I was a really chubby kid, but then I watched the movie Chef. Did you watch Chef?
Oh, I love that movie. I watched it so many times that I think I perfected the grilled cheese sandwich, even though I don't eat it.
That movie was life changing. I even went to the Chef
yeah.
truck in Vegas. I forgot what casino it was in. I think it was MGM. But after that movie, I went to Huma for the first time, which is now Luna.
Yeah.
And eating that food just changed my world. Like it just
it's
set off this switch.
And it's a place we all three of us love.
We do, yeah.
We've gone there many
Yeah.
times, but yeah.
So maybe it's not just the food. Maybe it's the people. It's the service. It's the whole package deal that you're looking forward to.
I always wanted to be a writer. When I started university, I wanted to write movies, but my mom wanted me to do a science degree. So I was taking classes that I hated, like bio, zoology. I had no interest in it. I always wanted to take creative writing. And somehow it was just a serendipitous thing. I found my writing outlet through food writing. So sure, I write about food, but if you dig deeper, it's not really about food. It's about other things.
It's expression.
Yeah. It's like food is there, but then I always make these digressions into the things that I'm passionate about: professional wrestling, pop culture, hip hop, and just my love for Mel Woods.
And a little bit of your personal stories and history too. They come out in your writing.
Yeah, I put that there too. It's gonzo food journalism. Like Hunter S. Thompson would always inject himself into the narrative, and that's how I see it. Just inject yourself into the narrative.
But why do you think your readers, right, or listeners now, if with the podcast, but why do you think they relate to you so much? It's because of that. Like I'm answering your own question that I asked you.
Also, I don't lie.
Yeah, no. And
my dad told me that you should always tell the truth because lies change, they shift, but the truth remains firm.
And I agree with that too myself. And I always like to say it how it is, even if it's not really something somebody would want to hear. I don't like to sugarcoat things. I can definitely hold back some harshness to some truths, but I don't like to lie either. Like I like to still tell somebody if something was off or wrong. I'm just saying it generally, not necessarily with food, or even with food. You've seen me in some restaurants, like maybe in England, I'm like, yo, where's this thing?
Yeah.
Because it's just supposed to be there. And so I'll be like, yo, where is it? And then so sometimes I look picky, but then my allergies are there and they're not actually picky. It's just my situational plus pickiness.
Yeah, truth to the point where it's reasonable. You don't want to go up to someone, oh yeah, tere ko bol maar diya, right?
Yeah.
De kapde paaya, you look like a foot. Right?
Yeah, so to digress into like, to come back, but like I ordered a pizza, not to come back, but go over there. I ordered a pizza the other day. I was at work. I ordered pizza from BP's there. I can eat there. You can eat there. No cheese though.
Both of you no cheese?
No. Well, you can have cheese.
No.
What about the vegan cheese?
No, man.
No.
That's got
Fuck the vegan cheese.
It's got mutter in it. Fuck those vegans. Just kidding.
I didn't know it had mutter in it.
Yeah, it uses pea protein. It's PEA, guys. And so, anyways, so I got my pizza. It's pretty much a vegetarian and a Hawaiian mixed with zero cheese. Okay.
Yep.
And there's no tomatoes. And I was choked. But I ordered it on their app. So it should have had everything. But when I called the restaurant just to say, hey, make sure, blah, 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 I said, can you do extra mushrooms by chance? So the girl on the phone was like, yeah, I'll give you it. And it had extra mushrooms, but it was missing the tomato. So I didn't cry about it. I was like, whatever, fair enough. Like they still gave me something else.
Yeah, it happens. Yeah.
Yeah. Hold on that, right? Happens. So that point, when it's something where it's like, okay, cool, you did something for me, but something, whatever, then I let it go. It's whatever. It's not a big deal. But if it's at a restaurant and somebody's like being like, even if the guy was rude to you, I would have felt bad too. For me, I'm used to it, right? But
that guy was a jerk, man.
That guy, I think it was the pompous is the right word that you said, pompous.
Yeah, and I think it was the Michelin thing that was getting to him. Like, oh, he's better than us. And then at the end of it, he's like, what did you think of it? I'm like, you don't want to know what I thought.
I was just like,
and then when he walked away, he was looking back at us like, what are you going to do, pal?
Do you remember I pulled a granola bar out of my pocket, I think?
At the restaurant, started eating it?
Yeah, I just, and you know what I did? He was eating and I was kind of like, yo, like he was like, shit, like I don't want to eat here now. I was like, eat, do your thing. And so I pulled a granola bar and I did such a desi, I had it under the table. So I was breaking little pieces, like, let's just call them burkia. And I was like, I just put them in my mouth here and there slowly, but just so I can sustain myself to eat something else. But I mean, because that was a crazy day.
Yeah, I think that was like our second or first day.
I think it was our first day, bro.
No, it was our second day. Because our first day we had all that wine, right? At your aunt's, right? Like that was the only day that I got drunk at his aunt's house. I think, oh man, I might have had like 6 to 7 glasses of wine. Right?
And you
did you make it back home?
Yeah, we made it.
Yeah,
we were all good.
Okay.
They were sweet people, man.
Yeah.
It was all good. And I think so. That restaurant was our first night, not including the actual first day we landed when we went to my Masi's house. It was our first night just doing our own thing in London. Oops.
Yeah.
Sorry, Pavan.
Yeah.
This episode is going to be called Sorry, Pavan.
But it looked like a fetus, the chicken.
Oh.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Like it legit looked like some sort of abortion.
I'm laughing because I remember you saying that when they brought it out. They put it at your table. I looked at your face. That guy walked away, and Ramneek's like, "Yo, man, this looks like a fetus."
Lula Swami we're talking about.
Yeah.
And I think it was the very next day I started writing the review while we were in bed. We were separate beds, and while I was writing it,
Thanks for putting
there
that
was just
out.
like so much venom, man. I was just so angry.
So this is the coolest thing. Like I feel like when we talk about you as a food reviewer, I got to see your thing, your process, your vibe.
Yeah.
And I don't know how many people other than maybe, your wife and family have seen that.
Just my wife.
Yeah. So, so I got to see it. So it was kind of like, and we were in different beds. So it's not like, we were in the same bed and he's writing, because that'd be like a funny story. I think we could make a comedy out of that. But the thing is, like, this guy goes in the zone, like locks himself out from the world, starts writing. But then this is my observation. So I could be wrong. But then when he's kind of like, cool, I've plateaued on my little process there, he stops and does something else. And then he comes back he's like sitting on the train and he just pulls out something. He was like writing or something, I think, on the train.
I think I was reading it to Pat, testing
Yeah, you were reading it to me too.
I was going to ask you, how long did it take you to come up with this format, this particular style of writing when it comes to food reviews? Because it's very unique and you add your own flair to it.
I think I really found my voice. Yeah. Woo! I think I found my voice about a year ago.
Yeah?
Yeah. I think I have a feeling that I found my voice when we went to England. And I talked about shin in that food review.
Yeah.
And I realized that people responded well to it.
Yeah,
I'm like,
yeah.
okay, now I can inject everything.
When I read that review, there was two. But when I read that first one about Veeraswamy, they should sponsor this episode. Anyway,
I heard they were on like the verge of closure or something like that.
I mean,
They've been in that building for, I think, 100 years now. In like 1926.
so let's say they leave. Not to just go off on this tangent, but let's say they leave. That server is going to haunt that place. Anyways.
He's dead?
No, he's not.
Dude, when you go to that place, it feels like colonialism is still a thing.
It feels like we step back in time.
The Rajasthani turbans, the snooty jazz
Oh
music,
my
and the
God.
Kama Sutra artwork. It was a joke, man.
And the pompous white people that were there. Nothing against white people. I mean, white people.
But it was a certain kind.
You know what I did though? In my head right now, I translated Angrej to white. And so what I mean by that is the English people that were there, not white, because like, hey, I'm pretty much white too. So, but at the end of the day, what I'm trying to say is like, so that's where when I read that review you wrote for Veeraswamy, and I was reading that whole experience that I had with you, but as a reader, I was like, yo, man, like this is pretty solid. And I was like, I was with him and I'm reliving it, but also seeing it from, the movie Vantage Point. There's a movie I saw.
Yeah.
So it was like Vantage Point where you had your experience, but I was there with you and I had my experience. And then I was also seeing little tiny things that you noticed that maybe I didn't notice, or vice versa, right?
Yeah, because both of those reviews, that one and then Haveli as well, because Haveli's about Southall.
Yeah.
Pat was your muse in that sense?
Sure. I feel like maybe he was. I was the photographer and this guy was the model, but
I think it was beautiful that we went together, because we went to Saka together, and I would say we were acquaintances. But, when you see someone every single day in like elementary school or junior high, you have this connection no matter what. And it was nice to turn that into a proper friendship.
Yeah.
And I think this was like us taking it to another level by going there and seeing one of our musical heroes, Shin. We got to meet him and we got to take photos with him. So it was a magical experience, and I wouldn't trade it for anything.
Yeah. Next one, you're coming, Pavan.
When?
For Chahat Fateh Ali Khan.
Yo, for real, on air. Would you go to a Chahat Fateh Ali Khan concert?
100% I would go. I was just talking to him about it at Zyka.
We wanted to request Baddo
Baddi. Then I asked him that if he comes here, we're going.
Yeah, it'd be so funny.
Best
What would that
ever.
look like? Like, I don't want to go too far off a tangent here, but you need promoters, and like I've done that stuff too in my past, so I know what it's like. Like does this guy have like a bookings page, a website? Does he have a manager?
He's got a huge following, man.
He does have a following.
Let's find out.
Yeah, check if he has like a manager or like contact for bookings thing or whatever. But to kind of reel it back in, like, so you feel like you started to flourish from that England trip, so to speak, or you find your voice?
I think so. And around that time, like Pat, you know this, Pavan, you know this, I left my parents' home at the tender age of 39. Right? So when I found my own place, I love my parents with all of my heart. I started thinking about them a lot and missing them and remembering all my old memories from Millwoods and Manissa and just the sacrifices they made for me. And I started putting that into my food reviews.
You don't know what you got till it's gone. Now sing Ranja.
Din raat set ni.
But yeah, no, for real. Sometimes it's not even when it's gone. It's like when you're away from something or you see a different vantage point to it,
Yeah.
or from it, and then that's when you realize stuff. And sometimes, you know, that's a part of your journey, what happened, and that's kind of where your writing, I think, spiked into becoming what it is now.
Yeah, I think so too, because I feel like it became a tribute to us as first generation Canadians, and then also our parents and the sacrifices they made, the blue collar lives they had. And, you know, it wasn't easy for them to integrate. And at that time, like they, even if they had an education, Canada often didn't recognize it, right? So these folks had to pivot, and they were often relegated to like the hardest, most menial, I won't call it menial, but like hardest, lowest paying manual labor jobs.
Well, yeah, they had to,
and some people would call this menial, but you know, that denies the courage it takes to start over in a new country in a language you barely speak.
They had no option, man. They had to start again.
And they persevered because they were working class heroes. They built their lives. They embraced this country, and they raised the next generation. So it was a tribute to them.
100%. By the way, chahatfatehaliKhan@gmail.com doesn't look like a very official. The guy needs to buy a domain or something, you know. But yeah, okay, Ramneek, that's pretty cool. But yeah, go ahead, Pavan.
No, I was going to ask who in the food scene kind of were your influences when it comes to critiquing food or writing reviews? Maybe you've read some books.
I don't have any influences in the food scene. Like, I have influences in terms of writing. Chuck Klosterman, he writes about pop culture a lot, and I was inspired by.
But
rappers,
you were talking about Hunter S. Thompson as well.
Hunter S. Thompson was a journalist. He was like politics and stuff. Right. So I liked his approach, gonzo journalism. Like, I haven't read much Hunter S. Thompson. I've seen Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas, but I like how he injected himself into the narrative.
That is crazy. If anybody hasn't seen that or read the book, they should definitely look it up.
It totally is. And Pat and I spent time on radio where it's one thing to say, oh, this is Hira's Mar Charappa. It's another thing to say, this is from 1986. It's from Diamonds from Hira. It's produced by Deepak Kazanchi. This is the album after they worked with Kuljit Bamra on Jagwala Mela. And then tell me what it meant to you. Like, that song, I remember hearing it in our Manissa house in the late 80s. I remember my uncle Papur dancing to it. Like, tell me those stories. Don't just tell me that this is a song. Tell me what it means to you.
Yeah. A little bit more context, personalization. Like, I remember dancing in Winspear Center to Mar Charappa, hanging off, like, was it maybe 5? I don't know. Hanging off those little like pole metal railings, and just like, that's what I remember. And see, these stories are what makes them.
Yeah, and that's what you want to hear. You want to hear those stories.
And
you
those
don't just
stories,
say this is a song.
They come out of your reviews too. And
they
that's,
do, yeah.
That's what I think.
More personable.
Yeah.
And it reflects the way you grew up. It shows and it more of an honest side to your worldview, to the way you think, and it's not disingenuous in any way.
No, not at all.
Well, thanks.
Yeah.
Dave Thrikival is an influence.
100%, yeah.
Because like, he taught us our culture, and he taught us those stories. And how would we even know about like Mirza Saba and Hir Ranja? Like, maybe, but he taught us a lot about that. And
through folk music,
And you learned a lot from his music. So I wanted people that were from outside of Millwoods, like they grew up in the north side and they thought that we were just Killwoods because of those 2 murders that happened in 2000, 2001. I wanted them to know what the real Millwoods was.
Now it's Killwoods because we're killing it.
But the way you narrate these reviews is not specifically to the Punjabi
and that's
culture.
Where I was thinking too.
Yeah, it's more or less a worldview.
It's a worldview.
It's a worldview. Everybody can find something within your reviews that they can relate to.
Because if it was just, sorry, Pat, go ahead.
No, I was just going to add to that. Like, it's not just a Punjabi audience reading your Butter Chicken Odyssey.
Initially, it wasn't at all. Like, I barely had Punjabi readers.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So what were you saying though?
I was just saying that I don't want to keep the culture to ourselves. I'm very protective of it.
Yeah.
But I don't want to be forever othered. I want people to understand who we are.
Yeah. I mean, at some point, like, even you might be the guy in Edmonton. Like, I mean, let's just say it how it could be. You might be the guy in Edmonton who's going to bridge the gap between Desi culture, let's call it. And I don't know. I don't like calling it mainstream because it's not, but let's just say descendants of colonizations, now mixed culture, right?
I don't think I'm ever going to do that with episodes called Into the Fuduverse. But
you know what?
Maybe Sohi pulled it off.
Well, yeah, I mean, like you don't know, right? And it's not for you to choose, because it's sometimes when you're in this place where you're creating, doesn't matter what
Yeah.
you create, the consumer is the one who's going to put you into whatever you're going to end up in going into, right? So like a lot of the people that come out to support the events, the collabs you do with the restaurants, the burgers you have named after yourself, so to speak.
Well, let's talk a little bit about that, because I think that's very important.
And I was just going to say they're not just desis.
Yeah.
And Pavan, go and jump in.
I mean, we're mainly talking about this butter chicken odyssey, which has been 2 years.
2 years, yeah.
2
It
years
ended,
in
I
the
think, in
making.
November or December. Yeah.
Which is incredible. But you before that, you were riding a wave of, I think, you went to Waffle Bird. You did a few reviews there. You had a chicken sandwich named after you, and then there was another place. I'm sorry, I can't remember.
There's three of them.
There's three of them.
There was the Temple of Dishum at Dishum from the old Barinda movie. Dishum.
Yeah.
So the Temple of Dishum, and then there was a Boothany jerk off at Baxter's Burger, and then I'll save for
What a
that. I'll
name.
add the D, the Chittar choker
Yes.
at Northern Chicken.
Yes, thank you.
Why fried chicken and why burgers then? Maybe kind of enlighten us on that journey.
Those places reached out.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the Boothany one was very hard. I read a book on burgers, like it was 350 pages, just to see all the type of burgers that were made, because I wanted to make certain that it had no cliche. So we went wild with it. Chorizo crumble, halloumi, that's the cheese we used, and jerk sauce. It was like wild, and then mixed with Punjabi flavor. So I always like to tell people it's like Long the Lishkara going in, Texas Chainsaw Massacre going out.
And was this all you, or was this a collaboration with the chefs?
It was a collaboration.
Yeah.
The Temple of Dishum, I developed that recipe. They took it to another level.
So you came up with a concept and then they made it.
I did, yeah. So
Yeah,
I taught myself how to fry chicken, how to make that sandwich, and then I gave them the recipe, and they just took it to like a different level.
Damn. And the response was overwhelming.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, sometimes like the Boothany jerk off, like some people didn't understand it because we were trying new things, but overall, I think the response has always been positive. There was people that like tried all three of them. Yeah.
That's pretty cool though.
There were a lot of local food critics that were raving about the three sandwiches that you came out with as well.
Yeah, there were like Yeg Craving said good things. Bluetooth. Yeah.
Yeah, that was amazing. It was an amazing time. Everybody kind of came together in that aspect, and it was nice to see, the food scene becoming more diverse in that sense.
It's also
Because we don't have enough Desis,
Yeah.
but it was nice
Yeah.
to get the love from them as well. Because Yeg Cravings has like a huge following. I'm just a small timer, but for her to give me that shine, I appreciate that. Yeah.
I think here's the thing. When I met you, I didn't even know you did the food reviews until you told me you were on Facebook. And then I started reading your reviews and started basically talking about it to people. And I think most of your reviews, most of the people that read your reviews or are introduced to your reviews is word of mouth, in my opinion.
or somebody
Which is-
reads it and shares it to
shares
a friend.
it to a friend.
Yeah.
So it's
like
organic.
that.
That's organic in a
It's
sense.
very
right?
organic.
But Pavan at the Nas and Wu-Tang gig, we're running into Pavan's friends. He's like, oh, this is Ramneek. He's a food reviewer. And people are like, just
Yo,
looking at me
wait.
like, who the hell is this guy? Like, they
shoulda-
don't know.
Rom-
They don't know this guy.
You should have merch that like we should all wear.
Well, I
Just-
plugged him.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
like, Ron Food Guy, as he walks away, make sure you follow. And the guy's walking away. I'm like, you fucking idiot.
That guy didn't know. But I think you might have asked because there was that one white girl that came up to me, remember? And started hugging me and wanted a photo together. Yeah, that never happened.
that was really
it's a weird feeling when that happens.
That's
right?
a very weird feeling.
And it's not somebody you know.
Random white girl
no.
came up to you and gave you a hug.
Yeah,
That must-
that's never happened before.
Yeah.
But she was very nice, right? Yeah.
Did she hug you so tight and said, "This is the chittar choker"?
No, she
No?
didn't. No, that actually felt good though. Yeah, to just know that your writing connects with people.
And I think that's what it, at the end of the day, food or not, or whatever sort of, I guess you can say, medium you chose, what you're doing is you're pulling people into your reviews, you're painting a picture, they're connecting, even if they're not from the brown culture or the Desi culture or Punjabi or even Indian to do, I hate saying the term Indian because it's so mislabeled, but like to anything to do with that. And it's just connecting every cultural, group who just likes food, because everybody likes food, right? So,
And that's what Millwoods was, man, in the 90s. It was
100%.
utopia. We were united. There was this white guy that told me that he prefers Mulkeith over Galit Marnik. Just the fact that he can differentiate those two, that's huge.
yeah.
Yeah.
Even
Who
Apane
is this
can't do
guy?
that.
They can't.
Apane can't do that.
Who is this guy?
Yeah, who's this guy?
He's this white dude with a mohawk.
Name drop him right now.
Name drop him.
Kale, I think that's his name. Kale Armstrong.
Yo,
Kale Armstrong.
Yo, shout out to Kale Armstrong,
He
man.
went to India
That's
and
sick.
people started asking him about his mohawk, and he said that he was inspired by Amresh Puri in the movie Loha, and that's what he got. he got that from my like radio show and food reviews. I'm like, this is amazing, man.
That's
That's
crazy.
dope.
Yeah.
That's insane.
Like, how many times are you going to meet a white person that can name an Amresh Puri movie from the 80s that isn't Gandhi or Temple of Doom?
I mean, I wouldn't be able to do that on the spot.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Okay, well, like, you know, Ramneek, you're still going to do the food reviews. You're just done with the Butter Chicken Odyssey.
I'm done with it, but I have this play coming up and I need to memorize these 55 pages.
Yo, tell us, okay, so how did this play emerge? And that's exactly where I was trying to go with this. And then we'll probably wrap this episode up almost soon, but not quite. So what's this play, and how did that emerge from, you know, your food reviews?
So there's this local playwright. His name's Colin Doyle. He reached out to me by email and he wanted to turn the Butter Chicken Odyssey into a play. I thought it was a joke. I thought somebody was playing a prank on me.
Yeah.
But I did some research and I reached out to a mutual theater friend and she told me that the guy's legit. He's very talented. I read his book, brilliant stuff, and it's all set in Millwoods. So I agreed to meet him and I picked Zyka as the restaurant just in case like shit popped off. I got Gary there.
Yeah. 100%, man.
Like Gary towers over me.
Yeah.
There's another enemy made.
Gary, no. And we met, we talked about it. I thought he was going to write the play and just use me as a consultant so it wouldn't look like brown face.
Yeah.
But then he wanted me to write it and he wanted me to act it because we don't have many Punjabi actors in the local theater scene. And I agreed to do it. I wanted to challenge myself. I'm 40, do some crazy stuff. Like some people do bungee jumping at 40. I'll do a one-person show. So I wrote it and it took me about 2 weeks. And then he wanted another draft and we restructured it, right? Like he's really helping me because he's the professional. I'm not. And then we decided to do a reading last Friday at Workshop West and it went well. And I got to pick the soundtrack for it. So there was Alap, there was DCS, Mulkeith, right? All the 80s stuff. Pehle Lulkare Naal Chamkila too.
Yeah, you have to.
And it went well, man. People were laughing, people were crying. And I think we've got something here. It really depends on whether I can perform it and memorize all this stuff.
Yeah, it's a lot to memorize, but I mean, it's also like if you wrote it, you can even ad lib a lot of that, I think, if you don't want to be strictly on script, right? So
Yeah, that is true. So
Yeah.
I did ad lib at the show, and there was one where I was just talking about how hairy we are, and I like exposed my chest. I'm like, look, what the fuck are what are we supposed to do, right? You'd get it if you were there.
Yeah.
But just ad libbing, and I think it worked. It's fun because you get into the character, even though the character is you, but it's like a fictional version of you. It's like Jerry Seinfeld.
dude, that's like Fresh Prince with Will Smith.
Yeah.
Right? Like, you know how much he ad libbed?
Like Uncle Phil was not real, right?
No.
So it was, some people came up to me and they're like, "Oh man, I'm so happy that you shared your like true story and stuff." And I'm like, "Oh man, some of that stuff is not true, right?" But it's all rooted in the truth.
Yeah, it's all it's based, as they say, right? But that's gonna be exciting, I think.
Unless I mess up and forget my lines and just like it's a train wreck, then you guys probably want to kick me off the show and are like, "We're not. That's a basting."
I don't think that can happen. It, like just from somebody who knows, who's done stuff in the past, where like you kind of come up with the formulation of what's going to happen. Either you write something or you come up with the concept of what it's going to be. If it's from you, you're going to figure it out. You'll ride that wave, I'm pretty sure.
What was your process like when you were writing this play, and how long did it take you?
Did you shut yourself in a basement?
Yeah, is it different from when you write the food reviews, or did you have to?
It is different because of the timeline. Because the Fringe is coming up in 4 months.
Yeah.
And I would ideally like to have a year with this, but we just don't. So it's like going back to university all over again. And like I had to pull an all-nighter for the draft that we did at the Workshop West. Like even the day before, we were still editing it.
Yeah, that's the process. And nothing's ever like, I learned this over time too in the creative process. Nothing's really done. You just decide when you're done.
You keep
with
tinkering with it.
Yeah,
And now like we know where we didn't get the laughs. We got laughs at unexpected moments. But I was thinking about True School when he produced Gabru Punjab, JK. He was still tweaking it before it was released, and he ended up having a panic attack and hospitalized. And I get it now. Like, obviously, it's not artistic on that level. Kithe true school, and I'm just like, banda here, right?
No, it's a different thing, but it's the same
you
process.
Feel it.
Yeah.
Like, you're in front of these people, the spotlight's on you, and these like 60, 70 people are staring at you, or maybe 50. I'm not even sure what the number was, but you're emotionally naked in front of them.
It's very similar to a comedian, starting a new act, going to the smaller clubs, tweaking, perfecting their
100%. Yeah.
and then you go to Madison Square Garden and you kill it. That's for you. The Fringe is going to be Madison Square Garden.
Yeah, because we're not getting to Madison Square Garden. No,
but that's still an incredible feat. It's still an incredible feat to see you take this journey of food reviews, and then the Butter Chicken Odyssey, and you turn everything you've experienced, everything you've done, into this wonderful play.
Thanks, man. According to a Reddit thread, I'm just milking the Butter Chicken Odyssey further and trying to cling on to my 15 minutes.
The fact that you have a Reddit thread is...
You have a Reddit thread?
A few of them.
I'm going to join Reddit.
The fact that you have a Reddit thread is enough answer in itself to, what you're doing. Sort of.
I don't know if I should be reading that stuff.
No,
some people say that in one Reddit thread that I have a paid partnership with Zyka. No, I don't.
Maybe you should stay off the comments.
You stay
off the comments.
Pull a Brad Pitt.
You can't please everybody.
Yeah, that is true.
People are just going to nitpick.
But the thing is, I don't get too bothered by it because it's funny. It's funny when people are talking shit about you.
Yeah, I mean, that's
like somebody said, he is dictator. He takes money from restaurants and write fake reviews.
Are these the restaurateurs talking?
Yeah, these are some restaurateurs or attempted restaurateurs.
The attempted restaurateurs, the fly-by-night, that are trying to open up.
Like some people just open places just to open them, and then you're just kind of like...
We were just talking about that for monetary gain. They just don't give a shit about service. They don't care about food. They just want to make the money and move forward.
Yeah, or they think it's clout.
Yeah, exactly.
They're like, oh, I'm cool now. I have a restaurant or some shit.
But I think you've kind of shone the light on what food should be about, instead of, people just taking your money and you having a shitty experience like you did at Lila Swami.
Yeah, dude, money is hard earned, man. Like if you go to a restaurant and somebody, like, you pay like $60, you go with your family and the meal is shit, you've ruined your night, they stole money from you.
And you talk about it. A lot of people talk about bad food experiences at restaurants. You never hear, you don't usually hear people talking about good experiences, because it's always the bad experiences that people talk about.
Unless you're like us, and we always rave about places that me and you can love it.
I think Jere Ambande, they'll write negative reviews, but the bloggers, because they want to have a good relationship with everyone and get the free meals, they're just always positive.
Most people just want to be keyboard warriors, just sit in their basement and write shitty things about people because they hate their lives.
So I did a couple of so because I have like every major allergen except for celery, because that's a British thing, but
except for air.
Air's good. I'm okay there, right? I use the force, create a bubble for myself. Anyways, so I've had a few restaurants where I've had food and it was amazing.
Yeah.
And because of my allergies, they've taken good precaution and attention to detail. And I've left I'm not
shout out to Luna.
Well, yeah, Luna's and I was gonna bring something up, but I'll get to that in a second. But I've left those Google reviews, right? Where it's and then I get all these summaries that's you've helped this many people. And I'm just like, holy crap. And now what you're doing is you're not just doing it for particularities. You're doing it because you just love food. And generally people just love food. Now, here's my question for you. We'll get to Luna in a second, because I was going to say, do you want to collaborate with us on a Luna review? But anyways.
Yeah, 100%.
Let's put that on the side. This is my question. Has any of the places that you've eaten at that got a 0 out of 5 or whatever, something low, or something that was, maybe the food was good, but the place sucked, or the place was really nice, but the food sucked, whatever combination. Have any of them reached out? I recall you posting something where they've reached out to you to say, come back, or rectified stuff because of your specific review and about it.
Yeah, there was an Italian joint that we got into a back and forth, but now the owner, who no longer owns the restaurant, we're okay, we're cool. We're like internet friends now. Yeah. And he's really happy about the play and stuff, and he said, keep shining. But he knew that my review wasn't written with like malice behind it. It was just the honest truth.
Your experience, yeah.
Like those were McCain fries.
Yeah. I mean, I'm okay with McCain fries.
Yeah, but if you're paying like premium dollar
No,
for McCain fries.
Should be like $3 for McCain fries.
But then some restaurants, they've asked for guidance. And unfortunately, there was nothing I can guide them with because they just didn't know how to make the food. And they just weren't representing the culture. Like it was an Indian restaurant, but you'd go there and they were like playing like Chitana music. And it was like whack Chitana music. It was like elevator music. And then some will reach out and just denigrate you and accuse you of being a cuckold and a fudu and all that stuff and threaten you. Yeah, no, that happens too.
Yeah. Well, it's still a journey. Maybe the Odyssey's over.
Yeah, the Odyssey's over, but it's really cool to. I think I've become more empathetic with these restaurants as well because now I'm like
you're seeing stuff.
Yeah, I'm seeing the struggle, and I'm in the kitchen. And the Bakra party that we did at, which was inspired by Pavan's Bakra party, right? The 90s Bakra party that we did at Masala Tree. I was really happy to do it there because that restaurant is owned by the chefs.
So we got to do one now called Pavan's Bakra Party.
Pavan's Bakra party?
Collabing with Ram's Food Reviews that caters to Pat.
Yeah, we should do it at someone else's house so we can trash it.
No. We got to do an actual Bakra party at one of the places that you love.
Yeah.
That wants to do it for a private.
That's what that event was. You guys didn't even come to it.
No, we
but that's
couldn't.
what it was.
I didn't. I wanted to come, but
and it was like a 90s music. It was on point. We played Ace of Base, Bali Sagu.
I know.
Yeah.
I was watching the videos you were posting, and I was like, I don't know why I couldn't come, but sometimes it's just. If it's on a Wednesday or Thursday, I ain't making it out of my house.
Well, we're all busy.
Yeah, we all have kids.
We all have kids. But
it went well, though. I think it sold out in 2 days.
2 days?
Yeah, 70 people capacity. I think the tickets were $32.99.
70 people?
Yeah, 70 people.
And you know what? Like,
and it was so people dressed up 90s. So
Yeah,
I wore this like Super Friends shirt with like Darkwing Duck and Captain Planet, the Tick.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think you went to one of those. I remember you.
I did.
Oh, yeah, late.
Yeah, 2 hours late. Yeah. 2 hours late. We see people leaving, or the parking lot was empty. And
you had a black button-up shirt, didn't you?
I think so. Maybe.
At least you were looking fresh.
I think it was bluish, wasn't it?
Was it blue?
I think it was bluish.
Let's just call it midnight or indigo for the sake of it.
I don't know. My wife and I, we rushed over
when they came.
We rushed. It wasn't too far from our house. We rushed over and we saw the parking lot was empty. And I go to my wife. I'm like, we're early. We walk in. Ramneek's like, it's over. Where you guys been? Where you guys been?
Yeah. Well, after party at Denny's then, right?
Yeah.
No, they stayed in 8 and we just listened to music because
that's okay. You stayed, you ate, chilled. It's sometimes it's a vibe too.
And it's good food. It's great.
It is. Yeah, that restaurant's struggling right now.
It's good food.
We were supposed to do another event in.
Why is it struggling?
There's too many now, man. There's like 150 Indian restaurants.
Well, that's also an issue, I think, with people who. I mean, on one side of things, if you want a quick meal, you go to the cheapest restaurant, and you're probably not going to get the best meal.
Yeah, you're going to get dirty on the next day.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And then you're supporting those restaurants, and the ones that you need to support are not surviving.
It's like they get lost in the pile, so to speak, right?
Yeah.
Like it's
they're in Charlesworth, so there are so many Indian restaurants there.
Yeah,
like
that's a weird
strip
place.
Mall is just like there's another like there's like 3 Zaikas now.
Mm-hmm.
There's like David Zaika, and there's a Zaika in Beaumont.
David Zaika? Yeah.
It's right in front of.
That looks fancy.
It's right. Yeah, it is fancy.
Yeah.
I went there once, and it was just like one white guy dressed up. I thought he was like a degenerate alcoholic because it was the morning, but it turned out he was some sort of officiant for a wedding.
Oh,
and it was like a 6-person wedding. And I'm like, wow, this is a Desi wedding, and there's only like 6, maybe 8 people. Yeah,
good on them.
And it has nothing to do with Gary guys, eh? Those ones.
Nothing.
Yeah. So they're just okay.
Yeah, David the Zaika.
And the one in Beaumont?
That one's just called Zaika. I've never been to that one.
But you have to say it with a French accent.
Oh, because it's in Beaumont?
Yeah.
How do you say Beaumont in French?
Say it like Pepe Le Pew. Can you do it?
Zaika. Restaurant. I can only speak like a French Canadian only because of hockey. Like of Patrick Roy Martin Brodeur. That's my reference.
Oh, yeah. What about wrestling? Rick the Model Martel. Remember him?
Yeah, I do remember him actually, but I don't want to.
Arrogance. It's not a fragrance. It's a lifestyle. But arrogance.
But see, they never did the French Canadian. And those guys, they're I like those guys. So I don't want to. And
Jean Chrétien too.
oh, Jean Chrétien, remember when he punched that guy out? Like that's some G
Chrétien's
shit.
an OG, yeah.
Like
yeah.
our former prime minister, some guy came up to him, he choked him, and then I think he punched him. I could be wrong, but he definitely choked a guy and he definitely punched a guy. It could have been the same guy, but the fact that he did that, I mean, the guy jumped out of nowhere in front of him. Like if
GSP trained him.
no, Jean Chrétien trained GSP.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyways, it's like a Chuck Norris thing, even though another guy, Chuck Norris.
Yeah, that one hurt. Man.
Legend.
Yeah. But anyways, let's not derail this. But yeah, so your food reviews, what's your, the Butter Chicken Odyssey's done. 2 questions, not just the cliche, what's next for your journey? Not like one of those, but computer chill. My question is, why did my computer's screen just turn off? It's fine. Second real question, first question is, during your journey, how many times did you get, not just the shits, but I don't actually want to know how many times you got the shits, just generically, how many times did you actually get like sick, like food poisoning type sick? Or like just sick of eating that stuff. Like you just felt not right. Cause so much butter chicken,
man. 5 to 10.
Yeah. Out of 51. That's
Out of 51,
not bad.
Like Cafe Mac, brutal tortilla, man. And
Yeah.
like, as I was leaving the restaurant, it was like remember the Ajmere Yaar Ki Shaadi Hai, the like Indian brass bands? Bam, 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 bam. That's how the buds were, man.
Oh.
The entire car smelled like it.
Yo, just for anybody who
then, like-
doesn't know what tortilla are, it's the shits.
And then
It's the shits.
I come home. I think my wife is at my sister-in-law's, and I have to put my daughter in front of like Miss Rachel, and I'm just stuck on the toilet. And then like the owner of that restaurant reaches out to me and says, well, I think she was the owner, or she reaches out and says, oh, you have to try the best butter chicken. It's at this restaurant. It's where the Millhurst Pizza used to be, Saka. I'm like, okay, best butter chicken. I go there, man, Gandhi restaurant, so dirty, debris everywhere.
What's the name of the restaurant? Just so
They don't exist. They don't exist anymore.
Oh, okay.
But like Hulk Hogan, Hulkster colored walls and like tri-colored carpet, and it's so dirty, like the debris everywhere. The only thing that's missing is a chalk outline. And then you go to the washroom, and it's a horror show, man. Like dust all over the tank, crusted urine stains, and like pubes all over the toilet. Looked like spiders were crawling on it, and they didn't belong to the same guy because some of them had a hint of red. Right?
We're not knocking on mom and pop restaurants because
No.
We love
there's a
love.
But
There's a lot that we love.
gale hai chittar saaf karne chahiye, right? And they're not doing it there, right?
Yeah.
And,
there's
that was bad.
There's that phrase, dil saaf hona chahiye. You know what else saaf hona chahiye? But yo, for real though, like
What was that podcast called again? The what wagon?
oh, the bandwagon.
Yeah, that's what needs to be soft. What was it? The
Bundwagon.
Oh,
That's a Bundwagen. Come on.
by the way,
Pat.
they're not probably listening, but shout out to that bandwagon. Podcast.
Sick
I never got a
podcast.
chance to speak to him. I don't really.
He
do
was
that.
there.
Yeah,
He
because
was there
like
that
I
night.
already fanboyed over Shin.
Yeah.
But I saw him and he was wearing a Sly Stone Cobra shirt. I'm like, yo, that guy's with it.
Yeah.
Yo.
He's very with it. I mean, when I grew up and I was doing the music thing and I knew some of the UK guys, he's not one of the guys I knew. Apparently he used to be a toll player.
Okay.
But like, yo, man, that guy's podcast is it. It's
He's doing it for the culture. I do wish I spoke to GV though, because I saw GV there. GV's supposed to be a super nice guy, and
He is
I am a
supposed to be,
GV
yeah.
fan.
You know, like you told me, hey, I saw GV, and I was like, yo, where is he? Because I was ready to go say hi, right? And I don't even know the guy. Like, it just like, why would
He just seems cool, but he was busy talking to Jinder Jade. I'm like, I don't want to bother him.
Yeah.
That episode and the one with GT is spectacular.
So yeah, I mean, shout out to that podcast, the one with Tubbsy, Buta Jagpal, Tarly Digital, GT, just to name a few, stick out quite a bit. My boy, I guess not really my boy, but you know, a couple of my friends are on that podcast. Won't name drop them because I don't know if they want to be called my boy these days because they're kind of out of the game. Yeah. So, but anyways, lost touch with them. But we were cool back whenever it was. But you know, like these type of things, right? Like that podcast for the British UK scene, because there's so much stuff that even we don't resonate because he does these other episodes. We wouldn't be able to resonate, but the music stuff for sure.
Yeah.
But like bringing it back to you, bringing it back to this thing. I mean, it's definitely something cool for Edmonton culture. And it's not just
not just Edmonton.
No,
I think
Canada.
Canada in general.
But I mean, it's coming out of Edmonton, and it's like something born here. Just like nobody will ever know half of a certain DJ who used to be a Punjabi music producer and who now is also doing a podcast. I don't know who he is, but Das Jaminu. So half of his stuff was produced in Edmonton by a couple of other people, and they were also featured on his stuff exclusively with their names, Binder Bajwa being not one of the couple, but a vocalist on his stuff. So that came out of Edmonton, and that makes me so like proud just to know, like, not just because I know Binder, but it's like, yo, that guy's from here.
Yeah.
And
there's a lot of talent in Edmonton. There's a lot of upcoming talent in Edmonton.
Yeah.
And I think you're kind of changing the fabric of the way people think about art, the art scene,
and there's also a new culture. Like there's also a new wave of, I wouldn't call us youth per se, but
yeah, I'm 40.
But what I mean is like younger generations, like, okay, let's just take like the 40s, people in their 40s.
Yeah.
At your events, out of all the people that are there, because you're Punjabi, how many people are Punjabi? You don't have to answer it. It's a rhetorical. It's like there's a small fraction of Punjabi, maybe 5 or 6 Punjabi
it's
people.
It's growing though. Right?
It is growing,
yeah,
but
which is nice.
But now the Punjabis are showing up.
Yeah.
But the thing is, it didn't start off mainly as Punjabis.
No, it didn't.
And that's why it's cool, because, it's everybody. Like I've seen, like, visually, I wouldn't know just because of you see these different cultural ethnicities or whatever, but there's so many different kinds of ethnicities at these events who read your stuff, who comment on it. And that's what I think is cool, because it's very Desi, very Edmonton, very also not Desi, and beyond Edmonton and global at the same time. So it's kind of this cool little...
Yeah, it's not segregated.
Yeah, it's a very like portaled sort of situation. So
that was the goal. Thank you. Like I wanted it to be about unity, man. There was this guy that wanted to start off... I wrote a review about the samosa at Delhi Punjab.
Yeah.
And just what samosa meant to our culture. I remember you go to...
I remember I read that one. Yeah,
and then some guy... He's a DJ. You probably know him.
Samosa Chai Sundays.
He wanted to start I wanted to do that Senti Samosa Sundays.
Yeah,
Samosa we talked about that at
we did.
Yeah, I want to do that one of these days. But this guy wanted to start a samosa odyssey, and he wanted to do it to prove that Punjabis make better samosa than Ismailis. And then he's asking me for advice, and I told him straight up, I'm like, I don't want no part of this. I'm like, my thing was about unity. This is just straight up racism. I'm not doing
no,
this.
you don't want to. Well, who started the beef samosa? Was that Punjabis or was that?
No idea.
No idea.
No clue.
The first time
They're amazing though.
The first time I tried a beef samosa was at Bombay Palace.
Okay. Like keema?
Yeah, the keema, the beef keema and a
so
samosa.
good.
So good.
Yeah, my dad introduced me to
good.
it.
And that's also a low-key shout-out to like a similar, the family we kind of started talking about a little bit with the food
respect to
scene.
the Thunjus, man.
Yeah,
They've done some serious work in the local food scene.
100%.
Yeah, Tiffin, Zyka, Bombay Palace, yeah.
All India, the restaurant too.
Oh, yeah.
I forgot the name. What was it called?
All India is in Daily Grove. Yeah.
Yeah, but there was in Meridian Banquet Hall. What did Uncle have? What was the restaurant's name? It was in the
India Garden?
India Garden.
Yeah.
And so like these places, when I was not allergic to half the stuff I'm allergic to, I was always eating there, no problem. No French horns blowing out, like just normal stuff. And it was always, and when I DJ'd at some of their facilities, they would always go back in the kitchen, make sure my food was all good, and bring me my own. And I was just the DJ there. Like I wasn't even like a guest paying.
They're always good to you. Huh?
Always, man. Nothing bad to say.
Whenever I'm there, they're just super good to me.
100%, man.
So I could never say anything negative.
Shout out to that family and the 2 branches that are in the food scene locally.
Big time.
Yeah.
Testament to their service and their love for food in general, and the care that they take in making sure everybody is accommodated, especially Pat with his
Well, you
card.
too, man. You come in with that.
100%.
And that's how you last too. It's a quarter century now, I think, for them.
Yeah.
Yeah, and tongue in cheek, family. You know who I'm talking to. If you want to sponsor anything, let us know.
Yo, 3 brown dads and we keeping it real. With laughs and some lessons in the cultural field. Grab a chair, take a seat, let's break the